Hey folks, it's Smitty. We're talking about traces of war here. We're getting ready to execute turn one, and you can see, of course, my light. My Sputnik light loves to make, well, lots of light. But let's talk about where we're at here. Opening moves. The Soviets are ready and heavy in the north. And what do they want? Well, you got Kiev over here, and they would like to get Kharkov right here. There's a good concentration of German armor up here, but much more Soviet. The Germans only have the Viking division here. They think that this is going to be okay, but there's a Soviet, what is it? We got a guard, oh, sorry folks, we got a guard unit right here. And 23rd tank right there. Sorry for the technical things there, folks. In the south, some German armor, some Soviet armor. You take a look at the Soviet reinforcements, you take a look at the German reinforcements. The Germans are 3 and the Soviets are now better as 4 and 5s on infantry. Should be interesting. And Kharkov is right behind the line here now. There, you've got the steppe front. The steppe front's not very powerful at this point. And you've got the southwestern front, which is somewhat powerful, but not that powerful. But will they be going towards Kharkov? Well, that's a good question. We get to start with a free offensive. Think of it as your get out of jail card. The Soviets get to pound the Germans on turn one with an extra combat phase to start off with before they do anything else. Before a single chit is drawn out of the Bandit and Sheridan mug, which we use for all of our chit pool, the Soviets will hit up here. I'm certain that's where they're going to hit. And of course, well, Manstein thinks they're going to go down here because this makes the most sense to get, easiest way to get to the Dnieper and to break into Romania. So, we'll see how this goes. I'm excited. Where you see this 29th tank was the 167th Infantry Division. Killed. We see 2 other infantry divisions flipped, and the nightmare, the first chit drawn is the Voronezh front. Not a good start for the Germans. Well, let's talk about this turn. And of course, let's say hi to Daphne. Daphne's our little kitty who came to us. She's got always has kind of a perpetual running eye, displaying her armament. But dramatic turn. Voronezh front certainly did 4th Panzer Army no favor. You can see here the way they have ripped the front apart. Pushing through, and 4th Panzer Army now has a 1 hex gap and is barely tied into its adjacent army, which is 8th Army. 8th Army had a very unhappy turn. The Soviets pushed across 3 places here. Here, got an R2, got across to Kharkov, right beside Kharkov, and down here, came across the river. So, and of course, well, we didn't, 1st Panzer Army didn't have a chit out. So, things didn't go well that way down here though. Soviets were only able to do 1 attack across. Das Reich pushed them back. So, in the south holds, everywhere else, big holes, people. turn 2. The Germans could have had a better turn. We'll start in the north. The north, well, there's a considerable hole open there. And the Soviets are driving through the Voronezh front. To close this gap is going to require reinforcements. Reinforcements require negotiation points. Will the Germans have enough negotiation points next turn? Because we spent to get rid of the command order, the Supreme Command Order at Kharkov. So they might be able to do there. Now, we're going to lose an infantry unit right there. It's going to die. It may have died already from being out of supply. I will need to check on that. This area is at least kind of okay, but Kharkov is starting to become surrounded, particularly when Steppe Front pushed units to be to the northwest of it. In the south, the Germans patched up this area by moving around 17th Panzer. Das Reich also came there, and let's see, we have somewhere, maybe it's under 1st Panzer here. No, we've got, there, 16th Panzer Grenadier. So we anchored this line here for the Germans. And in the south, things stayed pretty good. So do we try to shorten this balcony to pull back to, say, this line to maybe save, well, we're not going to save many. But up here, and we're going to the north again, the Soviets have almost a clear shot to Kiev, and right here, these crossings here, and getting across the Dnipro. So, all in all, pretty darn interesting. Alright folks, let's talk about the last game turn here. The first it is now the first Ukrainian front. On turn 4, they turn over the Ukrainian fronts. You can see they got far. They got right here. They got, well, actually here's close to Kiev, right there. Whole way along the river, crossed here, crossed up here. Good job. Push things back far in the north. Steppe Front was a little slow to follow. That's my fault. Massive infantry and stuff could have been better handled. Should have been further along. I worried too much about killing German units. In the south, we have, and that's Hunter with his bone. We have a number of Panzer Corps, which is why we put the Tiger tank down here rather than the Sturmschutz G. And then, of course, in the far east of the battlefield, 6th Army is running away. Should have run away sooner. Would have had more forces to deal with things, and that's Hunter again. So, never was a game lost like I did, kind of paraphrase Churchill, that I had so much fun at because, well, I had to get lots of units across the Dnieper. I failed to get lots of units across the Dnieper, so I ended up with 13 victory points. But great time, tremendous four-turn scenario here, lots of fun, and, you know, getting the use of your HO tanks, it's all good. Thanks, folks.